Hello, Likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only baby girl, Malaika. So, Likers, we are doing the critical review of Mr. Aloy series, When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 37. It starts with Hanks granting an interview, a press conference, to talk about the incident that happened, because apparently, based on the fact that Benny was attacked, it affected him. And besides, he has promised that he was going to do something about that situation. So, he saw that the investigation is stalling. So, what can he do? He needed to hold a press conference so that at least he could talk about it. And from the press conference, you could hear that he was trying to protect the girl's image by making it known that whatever they saw on social media is not real. Not everything you see on social media was real. And the journalist was really grilling him, like asking pertinent questions. Like we saw pictures of you, being naked in bed with her and all the rest. He said, so he explained how it happened and everything, and from the explanation that he was giving, you could clearly see that he was protecting this child, and it made Benita so happy. It made her so happy because she realized that this man, he's keeping to his word. He promised that he was going to protect her image, was going to clean her image, and he's doing just that. And he made it known that investigations are ongoing and they are going to hold the culprit. And he also talked about the fact that she was being harassed now by people, for something she didn't do on the streets. And he also made people to understand, like it was more like a public announcement, that people should understand that if anyone is caught harassing her on the streets, that person is going to go to jail. That person will be arrested and prosecuted, yes, and sentenced, because you cannot be harassing a child. That is a child. Do you want to make her go, gaga or whatsoever? And that was great because, like, you could see Benny very happy, Clara very happy as well, because it meant so much to them that this man is standing, for them, especially for Benita, who is just an innocent little girl that was, victim of circumstances and all the rest. And he promised to protect the girl and everything with everything that he has. I love the fact that the journalist was not holding back. She was asking the right questions, and Benita was really happy because to her, her father was supposed to do this. This was the role of her dad to do this, but she can't believe that Mr. Hanks did this for her, and she was very happy. And she wished Hanks was her dad. You see, she was really happy, when she was telling her mom, and you could see her mom really smiling because even her mom was happy with Hanks, happy for the fact that Hanks was doing everything to protect her daughter. So the next scene shows Hanks who returned home, from work. And his mother was ecstatic. She was very happy because she watched the entire interview and she liked the fact that Hans did everything to defend that child. She liked the fact that Hans protected the child because to her, it's very important, that Hans, will protect this child by all means, just because she doesn't want people to talk down on this child. And her mother was really appreciating, but they were surprised again. They were wondering, like, all of this, why everywhere has been quiet, why all of a sudden things are happening, that is more like some people are trying to pass in some messages, like they're trying to send them a message or something. So Hanks and and his mother, they are trying to conclude that this is an inside job. It is an inside job because from the look of things, the way things are going, especially the fact that Benny is being followed from school, some certain things are ongoing and he doesn't like it. That was why he had to go about with this interview. So her mother is very convinced that this is coming from, and like us, yes, because of the timing and because of the way things are coordinated, it will be difficult for outsiders to have some certain details. Excuse me, you understand? And like us, honestly speaking, there's this thing I always tell people, 10 enemies, external enemies that are better than a single internal enemy, I swear. Yes, it is better than a single internal enemy, because it's easy for somebody that is inside to destroy you, to destroy something that people from outside cannot. So the next thing shows Emeka the spoiler, who is trying to make us Jonathan, if he watched the interview, if he saw how if you saw how Hanks was defending his daughter, if you saw how Hanks was trying to do damage control, that Hanks, the same person who stole his wife and everything. And you know that if there's one thing about Kenny, is Kenny will always stand for the truth. Kenny is trying to make make her understand that this rubbish you're doing is wrong. You cannot be calling people's names. Clara is not even seeing Hanks. Clara has never dated. Clara dated Hanks 20 years ago. They were over. Clara has never cheated on her husband. Ever since this incident, Clara and Hanks are not even not speaking terms. If not for the fact that Hanks took Benita to her based on the incident that happened, they don't even see eye to eye. So talk less of dating. But Emeka is trying everything humanly possible to convince everyone, to convince Jonathan that his wife is cheating, and that was the reason why she left the home, so that she would continue her cheating freely. And Kenny is making it known that it is because of the irresponsibility of Jonathan. In as much as Jonathan will not agree, but everybody knows that he's irresponsible, that made his wife to leave, and he gave her condition that she couldn't fulfill. She'd rather take a walk, But Emeka, being Emeka, is trying everything, to make it about him. He's trying everything to make it about the fact that she had to leave because she was cheating, And you cannot sit in front of a man and talk bad about his daughter. If there's one thing about men, is that they are very protective of their children, especially their daughters and their mothers and their wives. But Emeka is Emeka. Emeka wouldn't care. Emeka will say whatever he wants. He just wants it to sink into your head. The only thing that matters to him is that it sinks into your head. You understand? But thank God that it was not just Hanks and it was not just Jonathan and Emeka. Kenny was there as well, to protect Clara's interest. And Emeka didn't like that. Yes, Emeka didn't like that. And the stupid Jonathan is asking himself questions, asking like, based on the interview, why was Hanks focused on his daughter? Why was he trying to defend his daughter? Why won't he defend your daughter? That guy is made. His life is made. Even though Emeka will open his mouth to say that he's defending her because he was knacking her, his life is made. He's trying to protect this little girl that is still growing. Imagine that stigma, it stays on her, that she was caught in a hotel room with a sugar daddy. She will not be able to breathe. She will not be able to drink water and drop cup. But Emeka, who is a spoiler, who always want to make it look like, the hotel incident truly happens, and it happened the way they want people to see. And if one thing about Jonathan, he's not here for it. And Emeka went so far, because how would you call a child that she's a whore just like her mother? That she's an olosho just like her mother. And that was why she was caught in a hotel room with a man old enough to be her father. Even Kenny couldn't believe what was coming out of Emeka's mouth. All of this because he wanted Jonathan to accept what he was saying. Yes, to him, he didn't care if it was hurting his feelings, despite Jonathan telling him countless times that don't talk about my daughter like that. Jonathan didn't even protect Clara. Kenny was protecting Clara and Benny, but Jonathan was focused on protecting Benny. Despite Jonathan trying to make this guy understand that, guy, don't go that route with me. You understand? This is my daughter we are talking about. Don't call my daughter names. Don't make it look like she's doing something bad or she was doing something bad. But what do you expect from friend? Well, from a friend that is hell bent on destroying your life. Whereas him, deep down within him, he knows very well that he set up the whole thing, him and Debbie. But Emeka doesn't care. All Emeka wants is for Jonathan to be convinced. It's for Jonathan to be convinced that this truly happens. And when Jonathan couldn't, Jonathan has had enough. He had to just punch him in the face. Yes, he just had to do something, because when somebody keeps telling you stop, 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 and you keep going, 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 what do you expect? Yes, he had to punch him because it was too much. And I love the fact that Kenny was minding his business. All he could say to them was, guys, do not break the flower jar of the rose flower behind you, please don't. All right, he was just protecting. Can you imagine? This is crazy. Like, as honestly speaking, having friends like this, what is the essence of a friend that cannot respect your wife, cannot respect your child? You understand? And Jonathan had a field day, because Jonathan was so sick and tired. He was, after giving punches at a maker, he had to bite his finger so hard. Like, it was really crazy. It was crazy. And the next thing shows Benny, who's outside. She's sweeping around, and she, all of a sudden, when the gate opened, she noticed that Cruella Davila is around. Debbie. And we all know how Debbie moves. Debbie is there to cause chaos. Debbie came to provoke her, to tell her about the interview, how she saw, an interview with her sugar daddy, stuff like that, blah, 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 whatsoever. Like, this is crazy. How would you go to a child, and provoke her? This is your friend's daughter. And you'll be saying things like that. This is why sometimes adults, will make kids who disrespect them. Then later they'll be saying the kids were badly raised. Did you respect yourself enough to go and be provoking this child for a plan that you people did it? For something that you set her up, it was a setup, a trap. And to him, that the interview that was conducted, it was for damage control. Hanks is trying to, according to her, Hanks is trying to protect her image in exchange of papers, so that he will continue knocking her, because they want to push that narrative that, sincerely speaking, she and Hanks were knacking, when they know very well that it's not true. They know very well that it's not true. So this, she was really pushing the child, against the wall with all the things that she was saying, the nasty things that she was saying, against her and all the rest. Like, adults sometimes should control their mouth. They should know how to talk to kids, because you will give kids opportunity to disrespect you, and the child was disrespecting her. The child made her to understand that she is not her parent that does not know what she's up to. As for her, she knows her very well, and she knows what she's up to, and she knows that she is not a good person. She's a manipulator, and all she's doing is trying to manipulate her parents. And she knows, she's aware, and she will expose her based on the fact that she knows that she sent her that message. She knows very well that everything that's happening to her, she has a hand in it. She'll tell her parents, that she knows that they'll get her, that Mr. Hanks will come for her. Yes, Benny told her that Mr. Hanks will definitely come for you. I promise you. Remember, they are investigating, and very soon you'll be caught. And she didn't like it one bit. If there's one thing about Debbie does not like to be cornered. And that was how Debbie smacked this child. You raise your hand and smack a child that is not yours. And she has no respect for her anymore. She had to leave her hand and smack her as well. Yes. Because if you cannot respect her enough not to smack her, she too will not respect you enough not to smack you. This is really crazy. Like, cause this is crazy. And how can you be fighting with a child? So Jonathan heard the noise and came to be like, what the hell? What is happening? What's going on? And was shouting at his daughter, which is normal because she's a child. She cannot be fighting, with an adult. But Benny has had enough. She knows very well what Clara is busy doing behind the scene, that her parents are not aware of. But nobody cares to listen. Nobody cares to believe her. And it's normal. She was angry that her father is taking side with the same woman who is doing all of these things, the same woman who is responsible for all the happenings in their lives. And we know what's her name? Debbie very well. Debbie does not like things like that, and her father's, basically, she's angry, she's talking, and her father had to smack her because to him she was talking too much, and she never hesitated to smack her father back. Like, she didn't care. She didn't care. She smacked her father because to her father was he lifting his hand against her without realizing what she's going through and without knowing what is going on. So now Debbie feels like she has to talk about his parenting, called him a failure because he has failed as a husband, and now he's failing as a dad as well. Failing as a dad in what way? By letting his daughter smack him. That is so, and it's true. Benny was not supposed to raise her hand against her father. That was so wrong. That was all shade of wrong. So, and when she was provoking Jonathan had no choice but to smack to smack Debbie as well, because Debbie was just talking so much. But to Benny, that she didn't care, because to her that was more like medicine after crying. Yes, that somebody has cried, then you want to cure the person. Like, where have you seen this? That she didn't care. She didn't care that her father did that, because to her it was too late. Her father was supposed to do that a long time ago. So, like, as we are going to end this video, honestly speaking, like, as we have to be very careful with the people we bring into our lives, because those people will definitely destroy us. Yes, those people will be the ones to destroy us. Guys, thank you so much. Like I always say, protect your mental health at all costs, and don't let any type of people come beside you, come into your life, because some people are there to bring you down while some people are there to raise you up. On this note, I have to say